Hey everybody, welcome to our second episode of the podcast. I think that's what we're officially going to call it, as the podcast. Let's see, last week we had Alex and Jacob here. I don't know where Jacob is. I don't think was planning on being a regular part of the show, and Alex has to work because
he has
out.
A job.
Yeah, I mean, we have jobs too. I don't know if you have a job.
No. School is his job.
School.
Well, Saturdays, yeah, I do, but that's it.
Work Saturdays, part-timer. Been there, done that.
Definitely. Alright, so this week we are talking about specifically games, films, and technology. Now, I don't know if that's what the podcast is going to be about specifically every time, but it's just what we kind of know about, and so that's kind of what we're going to be discussing. So, we're going to start off with Project Spark Exits Beta. Now, if you don't know what Project Spark is, it was announced about 2 years ago. Basically what it is it's a video game where you create the game as you're playing it.
It sounds interesting.
It does, I was really sad when I originally found out it was going to be console exclusive, but I think they just announced recently it's going to be for PC as well.
I think so. I'm pretty sure that some of the first versions were on PC. It kind of seems like I personally never really heard of it until recently. It kind of seems like a fantasy game, like a big MMORPG. I don't know if it's multiplayer.
I think it is. I want to say the tech demo they showed off at E3 was multiplayer.
Sounds like someone's got to play it.
I think we all should play it.
Get a good review of it.
Game night.
I believe
game
we have to go through Unturned yet. Have you ever heard of that game?
Mm-mm.
Philip has, right?
You haven't heard of Unturned?
I have not.
Well, me and Philip, we got to do a video of Unturned between either 2 or 4 people, whoever, big multiplayer. I think Node did that in one of their LAN party episodes. We got to do it. It seems like an interesting game.
I will have to check it out. I'll just look up Node's video because Node's awesome. Alright. Yeah, so I'm just looking at the update here about the Project Spark. It looks like it's supposed to come out for Windows 8 and Xbox One.
Windows 8 only.
Ooh, yeah, Windows 8 only.
Yes, it does not. It won't be coming out on Windows 7.
Which is kind of depressing because, let's be honest, everyone really loves 7 and 8 sucks, in my opinion. I guess that's just my opinion.
It's not too bad. They just have too much Mosaic junk.
Uh,
I heard that they skipped Windows 10 or Windows 9 and went straight to Windows 10.
Well, I just read that they were supposed to have free Windows 9 upgrades for everyone.
Nope.
No?
They went straight to Windows 10. They do have a trial thing that you can do for Windows 10 though. That's free.
So why'd they skip 9?
I don't know. They don't have a good reason for it either.
Oh, well, that's Microsoft for you. Alright,
There's still a lot of people out there that are on XP.
dude, XP was boss. Vista sucked. 7 was boss.
I had XP. Philip, you're
I
on...
started out on XP.
Yeah, you're on 7 now, right?
Yeah.
I started out on 95.
I had... Yeah. No, my first one was 98.
98. Yeah, my parents had a 95, and that, compared to technology today, is super slow, but I was like the awesome, computer back in the day.
Playing ski.
Or in my case, I played a lot of solitaire.
Oh.
I was pretty addicted to solitaire. I kind of have a thing with card games. I'm really easily addicted to them. Alright, well, so our next topic, also in the gaming category, is about Silent Hill. Now, you guys, not too long ago, a few months ago, Silent Hill released what was like a product demo for their new upcoming game. From what I understand, this product demo is not going to be in the new game at all. I have not actually played this demo, but I did watch this video of this Irish game reviewer guy who played the game, and it was a good 20-minute long video.
It's restricted only to PS4.
Which is why I haven't played it.
Which is why none of us have played it.
But watching the video, the premise is you're basically looping through these hallways in the house, and every time you loop through the hallway, something gets added to it. So like the first time through, there's like a bunch of clues as to like the storyline and everything. The second time through, you notice that a door is open. The third time through, there's a giant creepy monster. Fourth time through, it changes, it varies. It doesn't. I don't even think it stays consistent in how it changes in the environment. But what we have here for you today is that somebody took that product demo and recreated it in Minecraft. And I kind of wish Alex was here for this one, just because it's Minecraft.
He might be on break playing Minecraft.
It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, it is Alex. But I would love to play this demo.
There is a YouTube video of it, of them playing the Silent Hill in Minecraft, which he did a good job copying that I saw. But which takes it off of, it takes the game, like if it was that easy to copy over or whatever, you know, it gives them to not only have to play it on PS4, but it lets them play it on the PC as well. Just
True.
Through Minecraft.
Yeah, there you go. Well, what I like about most game companies lately, it seems like anyway, they start off console exclusive, but then they usually end up either porting it or actually building the game for PC as well.
PC's better.
It is.
We all agreed to that in our first podcast.
We did. We never even discussed like favorite consoles. We just went straight to like PC is awesome.
Mine would be PlayStation.
I'm more of an Xbox fan for one reason, the fact that I hate the PlayStation controllers.
You can get Xbox PlayStation controllers.
I would probably play PlayStation more if I had one of those.
We gotta get him one.
I intend to buy a PlayStation someday.
Philip, you like PlayStation 2, don't you?
Yes.
We all gotta pitch in by PS4.
There we go. Then we could have some pretty awesome game reviews. I'm also planning on getting one of those boxes for recording console videos.
Do it.
But yeah, so that is Silent Hill for Minecraft. I actually kind of want to get like the files for this and play through it, just because one, it's Minecraft, and two, it's Silent Hill. And I'm generally not a huge fan of like the horror genre for games. I am not particularly the type of guy who likes getting the crap scared out of me while I'm playing a game.
It sounds like the Slender game.
Yeah.
Have you played that, Philip?
No, but I've watched a ton of videos on it.
I remember introducing a friend to Left 4 Dead and they wouldn't play it because it was too scary.
Really?
Left 4 Dead's awesome.
Left 4 Dead isn't that scary.
It really
I mean,
isn't.
it's not supposed to be scary, it's just zombies.
It's supposed to be scary.
Well,
It's just not very for a lot of people.
Yeah. I find it more comic than anything else. Although there is the one creepy part where they have the one type of zombie, the witch. Those things are a little creepy the first time you encounter them.
Maybe.
Funny story about the witch, since it came to my mind. My first time playing through and encountering one, there's actually an achievement if you go play it through Steam, which I don't know if there's any other way to play it.
There is. I have a cracked version of it
Okay,
that we use for LAN parties.
there you go. But there's an achievement you can get where you headshot the witch and get it killed in one shot. I've never been able to recreate this, but apparently I did it once because I got the achievement while playing with a friend of mine over the internet, and we're like, these things usually take one of us dying and the other one shooting it while it's killing the other to kill. And apparently I managed to headshot it at one point, and we spent literally hours trying to recreate this for my friend, like getting just the right situation so that he could headshot it and get the same achievement. To this day, he still does not have that achievement. Alright, well, we're going to move on to movies as our topic. There's a rumor going around, and I found this on The Escapist, that there's going to be a whole new team of, I guess, superheroes for the third Avengers movie. I don't know how I feel like about this.
I don't like it. They gotta stick to the same people. Who cares if it costs more money for them to hire back on for another contract? They need to do it.
I tend to agree. And let's be honest, like, any Avengers movie without Robert Downey Jr. is just not going to be that good.
Yep.
What do you think, Philip?
They did have different Avengers in comics. If they stick to them, then maybe I'll like it. But if they just add random superheroes, then it's probably gonna suck.
As long as they don't combine it with DC,
Yeah.
I think I would go nuts.
Crossover.
There has been rumors about that too that I just saw that they've talked about doing like a collaborative type story thing, and I just don't see it working.
Don't do it.
Like DC is typically a darker comic universe, where Marvel's it has its dark moments, but it's just more funny and actionful. Like I don't know, I like Marvel better, except for Batman because Batman's awesome.
Who's Doctor Strange?
You don't know who Doctor Strange is?
No.
He's a sorcerer. His nemesis, I can't even pronounce his name. Durmanu something, I don't know. I can't pronounce his name. I don't know a lot about him, but I do know he's a sorcerer and he's done a couple of things with Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
And
Sony has
maybe the Avengers.
control over that, don't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the only reason they relaunched the Spider-Man franchise is because their contract was coming up to expire, and in their contract, if they didn't make another Spider-Man movie, they lost all rights to it. I wish they hadn't made another Spider-Man movie.
Me too. When I watched that movie, all I could think about is how terrible like the CG was in that movie.
I remember watching that with you. It was fun.
Not for everybody else.
Yeah, that was.
And I've never heard of Mrs. Marvel.
I've never heard of Mrs. Marvel either.
I think she's Miss Marvel. I don't think she's married.
Okay, I've never heard of Miss Marvel.
I know nothing about her, but she can fly. She has cosmic powers. She was in a couple TV shows. One, she had this boyfriend that was a Skrull, and that's how she got her powers. I don't know how.
The Defenders? Who's that?
Defenders. Is there a couple of superheroes that you can name off?
I have no idea.
Well, here, tell us who Ant-Man is, and we'll get back to the Defenders.
We don't know who Ant-Man is. You don't know
Hank
who Ant-Man
Pym.
is?
No, I don't.
Hank Pym. He's a professor. He invented this thing that can make him shrink and grow. He also has this other personality called
Purple Man?
Hornet. Or
What?
something. I think something with Hornet. That's his other super identity.
Okay.
He used to be Giant Man, then he became Ant-Man. And then,
Giant Man.
Giant Man.
Giant Man.
Well, here's another rumor I've heard, and this I'm conflicted on. There is talks that they are going to make a movie combining the original Avengers team with the Guardians of the Galaxy team.
I thought that was going to be Avengers 3.
That's what I originally thought too, but apparently it's supposed to be a side project altogether. I'm conflicted on the idea of the Guardians of the Galaxy team with the Avengers team because I could see them more or less being enemies with each other versus like working together really well.
I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it either, so I don't know if they're going to be good or bad with each other. I'm going to have to see their personalities.
We're gonna have to get you guys to watch Guardians of the Galaxy. I've seen it twice.
Twice?
Yeah, I saw it twice in theaters. I've paid for it 3 times. I haven't quite figured out how that worked yet, but...
Well, you're going to have to pay for it 2 more times.
Well, 3, because if you guys are going, I'm coming with.
Alex saw 2, and he told me he would go see it with me. Maybe I'll just go see it with my wife and bring Philip along.
Yeah.
That would... Well, yeah.
Just don't feel like a third wheel.
Third wheels are cool. They're like the best part about it being in a relationship. Actually, I don't know that. I've never been in a relationship, but I've been the third wheel plenty of times. Alright.
Just picture yourself as a tricycle. You're the one in the front.
No, well, you're usually not the one in the front.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
You're
Just picture
usually
yourself up.
a reversed... Maybe if there's a reverse tricycle, then you'd be the one in the back. You'd be the single wheel in the back.
I'm trying to think if there was like some sort of bike that was like that. Are you steering?
Oh, I'm
back?
sure there is.
There probably
It's
is.
called a motorcycle.
Wait, what?
You've never seen those?
Oh.
Motorcycles that have two wheels in the front, one in the back?
Oh, that I have seen before. Those look awkward.
Yeah.
Like, that just looks like an accident waiting.
I might have seen one that just thought it was a motorcycle, like a regular motorcycle, but it flipped around. I don't know.
Either way. Who's Daredevil?
Yeah. Who's Daredevil?
Matt Murdock. He was 12 when he got hit by a canister full of chemicals into his eyes, which made him see like how bat sees with like sonic sounds or whatever, except he doesn't make sounds to see where he's going.
So he's deaf.
He's not deaf.
I mean blind.
Blind. Yeah, he's blind. Except he can see with sound.
Echolocation.
Yes,
Echo. Actually, this room has no pad on the wall, so you could probably hear a good enough echo.
Probably. Have you guys seen the original Daredevil movie?
yeah.
How did you feel about the original Daredevil movie?
It's too dark. He doesn't kill people. Well, not that I know of. Maybe he kills villains, I think. I think I've seen him kill Spot.
Is it like an actual movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a spin-off called Elektra. That's actually better than Daredevil. Not by much, but it's a little bit better.
Who made it? Daredevil.
Yeah, Daredevil made it.
No, who made that movie Daredevil?
I
Who
want to say it was a
produced it?
Sony movie.
The guy who's going to be Batman in the new Superman movie was Daredevil.
Yeah. Ben
Wait, so
Affleck.
it was produced by Sony?
I think so.
And it probably has terrible effects in it.
I completely forgot that Ben Affleck was Daredevil.
You did?
Yeah.
Affleck? Isn't that a duck commercial?
Affleck!
He better not. Like, he better be like a good Batman. Otherwise, I'm gonna be really mad.
I know. I'm hoping he has like some like incredible acting skills that he's never shown off before
Yeah.
in order to pull off Batman.
I mean, he's been working out to get like the looks of Batman.
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
Steroids.
Or that. Yeah.
There's always that
just
possibility.
steroids.
Probably likely, actually.
Load him up.
Well, okay. Has anyone seen the new Superman movie? Because the new Batman movie is Batman versus Superman.
I have.
Nope.
We're gonna have to watch like a ton of movies.
No.
Okay, this weekend I'm doing the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. marathon, so give me a break.
There you go. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Do you
and
think
long.
Do you think we're actually gonna make it through the full first season?
Heck no. Well, how many episodes are in the first season?
I want to say there's.
Something in the 20s?
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's like
Huh?
a whole day's worth,
I mean,
almost.
I've seen most of the first season. Like I think I like the last 6 episodes that I haven't seen.
I've seen every episode except for the second, I think. The third.
I got them on, so I can lend it to you.
Sweet.
Well, my phone's not loading. So Casey, why don't you introduce the next topic?
Tech. Okay, technology. Same thing though, right?
Yeah.
So finally, Facebook closed their deal on the WhatsApp. So they bought it for $19 billion. And it sounds like ever since Facebook bought it, like on the stock market, Facebook is worth a lot more.
Is it really?
Yeah. And they also they had to fill over 45.9 billion or a million shares
Wow.
to everyone who had shares in the WhatsApp.
That's insane.
It's a lot of people. I don't really know a whole lot about WhatsApp because I never used it. Travis has used it. I don't think you've used it, Philip.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah.
Basically, I guess a short way of putting it, it's an alternative to iMessaging. So, like with iMessage, if some of you have an iPhone and like Casey has an iPhone, I can text him over the data versus over a normal text.
Over the Wi-Fi?
Yeah, over the Wi-Fi, without being charged for it. So basically, what WhatsApp? That's really hard to say. Basically, what WhatsApp does is it acts like iMessage. So if I have an iPhone and I want to text someone that has a, let's say just a basic, Android smartphone, but they get charged for texting. Well, instead of them getting charged for texting, we can actually use that same app to text back and forth without them being charged. It's also really good if you know people over in other countries. So, like, I have a friend in Australia. Before he got an iPhone, he had like a cheap Android phone, and we would text back and forth using WhatsApp, because then I wasn't getting charged for international texting, and he wasn't getting charged for international texting because it was just going over either the 3G, 4G data or a Wi-Fi signal, instead of going over the text stream, which for whatever reason costs a ton of money to text internationally.
I want to know. I don't really know anybody internationally. I knew Baron when he lived in Turkey, but we just use Skype
Yeah. Dude, does anyone even use Skype anymore?
all the time.
Really?
Me and Philip use it. We use it all the time when we play GTA 5.
See, I just started using Google Talk instead of Skype, because with Google Talk you can do like video conferences without having a monthly subscription, which is really convenient when I'm like gaming with my brothers, because then we can all see each other while gaming, but we're not being charged like a monthly fee for doing it.
Don't your brothers live in the same house?
They do, but they play in separate bedrooms when they play.
So wouldn't that suck up internet at their house?
Yeah, but my parents have boss internet. Like, my dad can be gaming, my brothers can be gaming and having video chat going, and my mom can be watching Netflix all at the same time, and you wouldn't even notice like a hiccup in the internet at all. I know, I wish I had that kind of internet. Alright, well, before we go on to the next topic, I realize we kind of skipped one mentally. AMD versus Intel. Casey, go.
Intel.
Intel.
Do you have to say why?
We'll come back to why.
Okay.
I'm conflicted, but I've always been an AMD fan, so AMD.
I don't know. I'm clueless.
Okay, Casey, why do you like Intel over AMD?
I like Intel because AMD's processors aren't very good, in my opinion. They last you a little while, then they start getting boggy down and junky, and I do have experience with that. And their graphics drivers suck.
Yeah, they do.
Like, absolutely terrible. They were good when they made dual core processors. Those were good when they started back then, but now, like, they're 8 cores and all that fun stuff. They are really awesome for the first little while, but then they just drop off and they do terrible. Versus Intel, they last you basically forever. I mean, I still have some Pentium 4s.
Wow.
And they're still working. I don't know, I guess Intels are in Macs and I use Macs.
Fair enough.
At least they're not using Motorola processors anymore.
Yeah. That would...
And Philip, to help you out, your graphics card is an AMD card. And you know how awesome that card was, right?
Yeah.
You got to see.
That's a triangle.
Wait, what? A triangle?
Like when you play the game, you could see through a triangle, and that triangle would be like stretching out like in front of you or on the side of the screen.
Like his graphics were totally screwed up.
Yeah.
I don't know what was wrong with it. He's on his 3rd card. No, aren't you? And that one's AMD too, though, right? But they were all given to you.
It's a lot better than the one I had before, I know that.
Well, I guess, like I said, I'm kind of conflicted on AMD versus Intel. When I built the only desktop that I've actually like built for gaming, I put in AMD graphics, AMD processor, and everything. The only thing I had problems with on it is the fact that the drivers either take forever to install, to find the right drivers, or they just don't work in general.
Terrible. I updated and it totally screwed over everything.
Yeah, like AMD's driver system just sucks in general. I mean, but the graphics card still runs. So my brother actually has my old graphics card in his computer right now. The only problem he ran into is that it won't do anything over 720p, which is, I don't know if it's a hardware problem or a software problem, because I didn't have any problems with 1080 when I had the graphics card. But it could just be that it's like a 6-year-old graphics card, and that's probably part of the problem. But then I also really like Intel, again, because they're in Macs, and Macs are awesome. Like, I don't care what anyone says. Yes, they're expensive, probably a little overpriced, but they last you. I mean, my MacBook I've had since 2011, and
2007.
and in all honesty, I've dropped my MacBook more times than I can really.
I never dropped mine.
Oh,
Although I did have it at work once when I worked in or not customer service. I was a service technician, and we built circuit boards and stuff. And we had a carousel motor that someone was playing around with, and they accidentally tossed it into the garbage can, but they threw it a little overboard and actually landed on my computer, like a 10-pound carousel motor.
Oh, wow.
And it still works. There's a little dent, but that's about it. The screen actually surprisingly didn't smash or anything.
Nice. Yeah, I don't know what it is about Macs, but my MacBook has a little dent on the top of it. It came that way. My friend Wesley's MacBook has a dent on it. It also came that way. Like, it just dents in this one spot really easily for whatever reason. But my friend Wesley, he's had his laptop. Well, he bought it refurbished as a 4-year-old refurbished laptop.
His Mac?
His Mac. And he's had it for, I want to say, it would be like 6 or 7 years now. And it still runs, like, without any problems. I mean, it's 3 operating systems behind.
So it would be, 10 years?
Give or take, yeah.
Well, they didn't even have Intel processors in there 10 years ago.
No, but it's still awesome.
He uses a pre-Intel MacBook?
I think so, yeah. I mean, like, it still runs fine. He does all of his audio, or he used to do all of his audio recording on it. I don't know if he still does.
You'd have to be running Audacity.
Yeah. But, I mean, Macs are just awesome. And now they all use Intel graphics. I mean, I have Windows and OS X, or whatever we're at now. I think it's Mavericks now, installed on my laptop, and I can play Windows games without any problems. Like, once you get past the whole installing drivers, so when you put Windows on a Mac, you have the whole drivers issue with anything. But, like, once you get past that, it runs just as well as a Windows gaming computer without any problems. Only thing I wish I had was an SSD hard drive in it with the 16 gigs of RAM that I already have.
I haven't ran Windows on my Mac or my iMac.
You do. You have a nice iMac.
Yep. The GTX 880. 4 gigs dedicated RAM. Okay, let's move on.
Alright.
Solid state drives. We all want them. We all wish we had them.
None of us can afford them.
That too. Although you can get some pretty cheap ones for like $60.
Yeah, but aren't they like really tiny?
64 gigs.
Well, I guess that's enough to run your operating system.
Either way, some weird guy, really smart guy, came out with a solid state drive that's like super secure. And basically, you get this little device, it's like a remote. And if somebody steals your hard drive or has access to it or basically steals it, you can fragment it by sending a text message to it. It's got like this weird chip inside that allows you to receive text messages that are only sent off this little device. But it fragments it, you know, if someone tries to like break into it and all that fun stuff. Which is kind of interesting. It's just a normal 128 gig solid state drive. If you got to enter in like a PIN number to access it, but if you enter the PIN number in too many times incorrectly, it fragments it as well. But guess how much it cost? You go first.
I don't know where to start. 5,000.
5,000. Hey, they do make hard drives that are worth that. They came out with a 10 terabyte hard drive that's filled with helium.
Why would you fill it with helium?
I don't know. We'll have to discuss that in another one. What's your guess? Although you probably already know it, don't you?
Actually, I don't. I didn't really look at that particular article that closely. I would guess somewhere between like $600 and $800.
It is, drum roll, $1,600 for 120,
So close.
28 gigabyte solid state drive.
Well, I don't see me adding that to my computer anytime soon.
Me either.
What about you, Philip? You got that in your budget?
No.
No.
He's got to work on upgrading his motherboard first.
I need to build a new gaming rig.
I don't.
You have a pretty nice gaming rig. I don't really anymore. My old gaming rig's just a Linux computer because that's about all it can run.
I have a Linux server at home. Me gusta mucho.
Well, that is all of the topics that I had for this week's podcast. And I think we're just about out of time, actually, as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
We got a meeting to go to in 8 minutes.
We do. Which means I'm taking down all of this afterwards.
Cool beans.
Well, we will see you guys next week with more fun topics. We don't have a Facebook page directly for the podcast, but if you go to facebook.com/G8stud, you can, if you have like topics you want us to discuss at all, shoot us a Facebook message.
Do it.
Because we'll discuss them. We're cool like that.
Do it.
So until next week, we will see all of you guys later, and have a great week.
Do it.